The 2020s has seen a significant rise in crime directed against the retail sector. These aren't just shoplifting crimes. The British Retail Consortium's 2025 annual survey reported that incidents of violence and abuse in 2023-24 climbed to over 2,000 per day, up from 1,300 the year before. This is more than 3 times what it was in 2020, when there was just 455 incidents a day. Incidents included racial or sexual abuse, physical assault, or threats with weapons. There were 70 incidents per day which involved a weapon, more than double the previous year. So, how are you best safeguarding your staff against the very real growing threat of interpersonal violence? If all you're doing is telling them not to tackle shoplifters, to contact security or the police if you feel threatened at any point, and writing up a big detailed risk assessment, then that is the absolute bare minimum. And to be honest, it's just not adequate enough. The statistics are showing that it's just not working, that staff are under threat, that the threat is definitely on the increase, and therefore we need to do something about it. And part of that will be training. So what type of training? So a self-protection course should be delivered in the same way as a first aid course. That is, and it should be concise and it should be directly relevant to the people who are being trained. And in the retail sector, we can see that sexual assault would indicate that predatory crime is happening within the retail sector. And that's definitely something that should be included in your self-protection course. It's certainly part of the CCMA course. But one area that seems to be being overlooked is the very real threat of social violence. Social violence would occur in a variety of different settings. It's usually a very natural occurrence between human beings because we're all pack animals, and it sort of erupts in pubs and bars and in the school playground and in various different instances where different people feel like they're in competition with one another. It actually happens when an individual feels they are disempowered or disrespected or a combination of both in some way. And that happens a lot in stores. A lot of the time in shops when people are returning items or you haven't got an item that they want or they feel in some way that they're not being treated fairly, or you're not treating someone else fairly who they feel protective of, then that's when you'll find a socially violent situation can happen. And in situations like that, we need to be preparing our staff for. Staff need to be prepared in the 3 areas. They need to be prepared in prevention, interception, and recovery. So obviously the major part of that is the soft skills. And a big part of the soft skills involved with social violence is de-escalation. The trouble is, the average person isn't pretty good at de-escalating themselves, let alone being able to de-escalate a threat. So what we do in CCMA is we look at calming procedures, how to work under pressure, and how to pressure test individuals so that they can operate more efficiently when things really kick off. So we'll be looking at some detailed skills in conflict management and conflict resolution. All staff, I believe, should be trained in that. Anyone who works with the general public should be trained in that. It's a duty as far as I'm concerned. So if you are a responsible retail owner and you want your staff to be safer, healthier and happier in the workplace, I would encourage you to look for a good self-protection course like mine, a CCMA course, and look for one that is going to be directly relevant to your sector. And I wish you all the best, and I hope to see some of you on one of those courses soon.